All right, we got the TF810 Woodlands wood chipper in the garage. Let's start unpacking it and see what we got. So we got a full package with a couple of the accessories that you see up top here. This is the spare parts kit. This is gonna be our extra blades, extra belts, all that. This is gonna be the cover for the cutter. Even though we got it under the pole barn, we still want to cover it. I also got the trailer hitch for connecting the utility trailer to the chipper. That's back ordered. That should come in a week or two from what they said. Let's go ahead and unpack it. Let's see what we got. Some more fodder for the fire barrel, I see. Big nut on the top. Hopefully we don't need that, or we're not missing any more. What you doing, buddy? All right. Packing list. And this thing is packed nice. Check out that metal frame around that. Looks like no damage there to anything. Well packed, well shipped. It looks like it's in decent condition. All right. Let's get some wrenches and get to work. All right, let's get the top off. By myself. All right. All right, let me figure this out. I don't have a hoist. So I don't feel like picking up. I can't really use that. Always something. All right. keep unpacking. Like I said before, very well packed. This looks like the chute. Oh, PTO shaft. That's nice and heavy. Oh, let's see. Let's just set that right there. Let's see what else we got in here. It's like some more parts for the chute. PTO shaft. Some brackets. All right, so we're gonna get this all laid out for you, and we're gonna speed it up. All right, so you probably figured out we had to stop and take a break. So putting the brackets here all together, realized missing one bolt, an M16 by 60. It was not in the kit. Looked everywhere, went through every piece of cardboard, every bag. It was not in here. So luckily, the L&L Filters, which is like a truck store for trucks, had one in stock. So then we kept doing that, and then we also had to pick up 5 gallons of hydraulic fluid for the unit. One issue I did come across that I want to point out to you right here is you can see my alignment tool is in there. These holes do not line up without an alignment tool. So as you can see, you got to pull it down to get that bolt in there. And as you can see, I'm on the struggle bus with it. There it goes. There it goes. So if you get one of these, you're gonna need an alignment tool to get those holes to line up. At first I thought something was wrong with it, but it's all working. And you probably noticed I changed my shirt. It's hot. It's probably 100 degrees in this shop with 95% humidity. So, all right, we're gonna get back to it and start putting it back together. All right, we've got it all assembled. 2 things left to do. One, put the hydraulic fluid in it. It takes 5 gallons. Then we'll hook it up to the tractor, measure the PTO shaft, and make sure we don't have to cut it. I hope we don't have to cut it. If we do, that'll be a whole another thing, and that might have to wait till tomorrow. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and put the 5 gallons of AW32, according to the people at Woodland. And let's see if I can do this without spilling it all over. So it probably took 3 to 4 hours to put it together, but I'm gonna say that a good 45 minutes of that was going back and forth to the store, missing the bolt, getting the hydraulic fluid. So if you had 2 people, you could knock it out really fast, but single, doing it by yourself, trying to hold some things and get it done, and all that just doesn't really work. So get a friend, give them a beer. So we're gonna fill this up with 5 gallons, close it up. The next step is to hook the tractor up and then measure the PTO shaft like we said before. So I don't know if that's going to be tonight or not, but we'll let you know. Overall, it went together really well. The manual is great. Other than that little alignment part at the beginning on the first 2 mounting posts for the 3-point attachment, it went pretty smooth. So I didn't do an inventory before I started, but I know that bolt was not here. So I did find a nut on the pallet, so I'm thinking it fell out in transit and just rolled through the bottom of the pallet into the truck. So let that go down a little bit. It says 5 gallons, but I hate to overflow it. I'm gonna double check the quantity. It says 810 Pro, 5 gallons. So that's what it's gonna get. Oh. There we go. Get the rest of this in there without making too much of a mess. I tell you one thing, this thing is put together really well. The steel is solid, everything about it is solid. Total quality. I'm extremely happy with this so far. Performance will be another thing. For what I've seen online, it's going to be really good. All right, so we got the unit all assembled last night, hooked up to the tractor, and we did have to cut the PTO shaft. We took about 1.25 inches off of the PTO shaft. That's always a lot of fun. If you're using a quick hitch, you probably wouldn't need to cut the PTO, but this is a Kubota M7060 and we did have to cut the PTO shaft. So we got it all set up. It's on the ground, ready to go. We'll go ahead and spin this nozzle around. So we're blowing chips in the woods. We'll open this up a little bit so we can aim it higher. There we go. We're all ready to go. We've got a lot of limbs down in this area from this dead tree. Been wanting to clean up, and this will definitely make this a lot easier. So we'll go ahead and get started and put this thing to work. First run, very impressed. Took everything we gave it, even the Y logs. And sometimes they'll get jammed, and this is the way you control it. That's forward, that's neutral, that's reverse on the feeder. So if you've got that big split and Y log, sometimes you got to cut it with a chainsaw, but this thing did a pretty good job of pulling them in and chopping them up. But sometimes you do have to cut them, but pretty impressive so far. Let's go take a look at the pile of chips. You can see over there in the woods some nice chips right there. Machine's a little dirty now, but overall very impressed with the performance. One of the main purposes we're going to use this for is we're going to make our own mulch for the blueberry bushes out of pine trees on the property. So we've got 130 acres, lots of pine trees, and this is going to make great mulch for the blueberries. We're also looking at blackberries. The Christmas trees don't really need mulch, and the muscadines, they don't really need mulch either, but we can always use it. Anyway. Another quick look at the TF810 Pro. There's our in-feed controller right there. It goes from 0 to 6. We had it at 3. I'm gonna keep it there for a while. Probably bump it up when we get into the pine trees. Great piece of machinery, excited to have it on the farm. It's gonna really fill a niche for making our own mulch. And we'll be able to put it right into that multi-lander trailer once we get it all assembled. All right, another great feature of this chipper is the ability to fold the top up. So there's latches under here that you unhook right there, one on each side. And then you pull the pin for the roller control, put it back in so you don't lose it. And then it's a little heavy, but you just lift it up like that. It's got a handle right there. Yeah, looks like it hits there. So let's do this. Let's move that around. Let's set this. This goes in here. And of course I dropped the pin. We'll get that part later. Goes in that hole just like that. Helps when you read the instructions. That goes in there. And that's nice and folded up so it takes up less room in the pole barn. You saw what this thing can do. I'm really impressed with the 810. Doesn't miss a beat. Those were all hardwood logs, some rotten, some old, but all hardwood. The pines, it'll just eat it up. So definitely impressed. The quality's incredible. The manual was great, easy to put together. I highly recommend it if you're looking for PTO wood chipper. This thing is awesome, and I can't wait to start making mulch. Once we get our multi-lander trailer together, we're gonna go cut pine trees down out in the forest, feed them in there, and let them fill up the multi-lander trailer and start making our mulch. So anyway, appreciate you joining me. Check out the next video. We'll be putting together the multi-lander trailer and all the features of that. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.